सर नया ही शुरू कर।
पिछला चैप्टर कंप्लीट हो गया था।
यस सर।
Okay, our new chapter is about random variables. Random variables and their probability distributions. There are two types of random variables, discrete and continuous. In this chapter, we will discuss discrete random variables. A discrete random variables can only assume at most a countable set of isolated values, such as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, finite collection, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to infinity. It is infinite, but in the form of a sequence. So a sequence is countable. Here we have a finite collection with elements as fraction, and this collection is of decimal numbers. This is also a sequence, infinite sequence. So a countable collection, countable numbers are either in the form of a sequence or they are finite. These collections are called discrete collections. If we observe them, there is a common thing between these collections. That is, there is a gap between any two consecutive values they are apart from. So that's why they are called discrete. We also have probability mass function together with these discrete random variables. This probability mass function giving a probability for each value of x. For example, f of x is equal to probability of x at x, with the property that each function value, or you can say the probability, is between 0 and 1, and also the total probability or the total sum of the function values is equal to 1. Because this is a probability function, that's why the sum of all the values of x of f of x, they are equal to 1. Actually, in this chapter, we discuss all those things, all those problems which we discussed in previous chapter, but by introducing certain variables. So, after knowing the activity in a problem, we will define and requirement, activity and requirement. We will define our variable, its range, and then the probability for each value of x. For example, we are familiar with this example when a coin is tossed 3 times and we observe the number of heads. So, number of heads will be our variable. As 3 coins are tossed, therefore, we may have 0 head, 1 head, 2 head, or 3 heads. This is the range of x. Now we find the probability for each value of x. As we have this sample space, there is one case in which we have no head. So the probability for x equal to 0 is 1 by 8. And there are 3 possible cases containing one head. So they correspond to the value x equal to 1. Therefore, the probability for x equal to 1 is 3 by 8. So we have 3 possible cases with 2 heads. They correspond to the value of x equal to 2. Hence, the probability for x equal to 2 is 3 by 8. And there is a one case in which we have all the 3 outcomes are the heads. So this corresponds to the value of x equal to 3. And the probability for this value of x is 1 by 8. If we look at these probabilities, they are all between 0 and 1. And also if we sum up them, we have total probability equal to 1. Hence, this is called a complete probability distribution for the random variable x. Also, we discussed the example of rolling of a pair of dice and observes the sum of the dots. We calculated the probability for each sum, as the sum is ranging from 2 to 12. So this is the range for x. First of all, define your variable, that x denotes the sum of the dots, its range, and now find the probability for each sum. We have discussed this problem in previous chapter. We know the order pairs giving a sum 2, there is only one case. So the probability for x equal to 2 is 1 by 36. Number of order pairs giving a sum 3, they are 2. So the probability is 2 by 36. Number of order pairs giving a sum 4, they are 3. There are 3 order pairs, so the probability is 3 by 36, and so on. And finally, the total probability is equal to 1. Also, we have discussed different problems in which we draw the items, we pick up, we select. So in this example, in a manufacturing process, the quality control section includes certain inspection for incoming materials for defect. Suppose a computer manufacturer receives computer boards in a lot of 5. Computer boards are manufactured in lots of 5. What is the activity here? We draw 2 boards from each lot. This is the activity. So in the available lot, we have 5 computer boards in which this is known that there are the board 1 and 2 are defective. So first of all, according to this activity, in how many possible ways we can draw 2 boards? As here, look at the activity. 2 boards are selected. So when 2 items are selected, they are drawn, they are picked up. We find the possible cases using combination. As we are drawing 2 out of 5, so 5C2 is equal to 10 are the total possible cases in this activity. When we draw, we pick up, we select. Also, we have the same possible cases when we draw without replacement. No, not this case. Not this case. So we have 10 possible cases. When we draw, we pick up, we find the total possible cases using combination. And which 10 cases are there? Now we tabulate these 10 cases. Actually, they are 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 3, 4, and 3, 5, and finally 4, 5. Because the selection of 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5 is meaningless. And also the selection of 1, 2 and 2, 1 is the same case. The selection of 1, 3 and 3, 1 is the same. So we either write 1, 3 or 3, 1, one of them. So in this way, we have only 10 possible cases. Now X denotes the number of defective boards. As we are drawing a sample of 2, therefore in our sample there may be 0 defective, 1 defective, or 2 defectives. Now we find their probability. For X equal to 0 means our sample containing no defective. So look at the sample space. There are 3 order pairs in which we have neither 1 nor 2, because 1 and 2 are the only defective items. So these 3 order pairs, in these 3 order pairs, we don't have 1 or 2. So the probability for x equal to 0 is 3 by 10. That is the probability when we have no defective part in our sample. For x equal to 1, look at these order pairs. They are having either 1 or 2. In each pair, either we have 1 or we have 2. So these 6 cases correspond to x equal to 1. Hence the probability is 6 out of 10, 6 by 10. X equal to 2 means 2 defective in our sample. As our sample is of 2 items, we have only one case when both are defective. So the probability is 1 out of 10 for x equal to 2. Also observe that the total probability is again equal to 1. Hence, this table is a complete probability distribution table. We can also apply complementation law here for finding the probability for at least one, or simply when it is convenient to find the probability through complement. For example, X denotes the number of years before a particular type of machine will need replacement. X denotes the number of years with this probability. F of 1 equal to 0.1 means the chances that a machine will be replaced within 1 year. Within 1 year, the chances are 0.1. F of 2 is equal to 0.2 means the probability that a machine will be replaced during the first 2 years. During the second year, and similarly f of 3 is the probability that a machine will be replaced during the third year. Also we have the probability for fourth and fifth year. What is required? We need to find the probability that a machine needs no replacement during the first 3 years. Okay, here we have this probability. But this probability is showing that a machine needs a replacement during the first 3 years. But our requirement is to find the probability that a machine does not need a replacement during the first 3 years. So use the complement of this this section or these probabilities. Here we have the complement f of 4 and f of 5. We have on the other side. When a machine needs no replacement during the first 3 years, this means there are the chances that it will be replaced during the fourth or fifth year. So that's why this probability is required. Add them, the answer is 0.5, or otherwise use the complementation law. We need here the probability for no replacement, so 1 minus the probability that it needs a replacement. We can find our required probability. Sometimes we have a probability function with the range of x. Here we have a probability mass function with the range from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to infinity. This variable is also discrete. We can find out using this probability function, we can find the probability for each value of x. But as we put these values, we don't have a definite probability. At the moment, we get the probability in terms of k. So that's why first we find the value of k, and then we can find the probability for each value of x, or the probability for certain range of x. Also, we can find out probability for greater than some value or less than some value. Okay, first we find the value of k. As the function is a probability function, therefore the total probability is equal to 1. We sum up all the probabilities. This sum is over the range of x. That means the sigma ranges from 0 to infinity. Taking k outside the sigma, we have sigma only upon this fraction 1 over 2x. Now put the value of x one by one. First 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have a sequence like this. This is a perfect geometric series with first term 1 and common ratio 1 by 2. To sum up this infinite geometric series, we have a formula. So apply this formula and get the sum of this geometric series, which is equal to 2. So 2k is equal to 1. That means the value of k is 1 by 2. Hence our function becomes of this form: 1 over 2 power x plus 1. For x 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to infinity. Now we are able to find our required probability for x greater or equal to 4. That means we will sum up the probability for x equal to 4, x equal to 5, x equal to 6, and so on. So put these values in the formula. First x equal to 4, then x equal to 5, and so on. Again, we have a geometric series with first term a 1 by 2 power 5 and common ratio 1 by 2. Again, apply the formula to sum up this series. The sum is now we obtain 1 by 16. Therefore, the answer for the probability for x greater or equal to 4 is 1 over 16. Repeat this problem by using this function. Repeat all the steps which are mentioned in above example. As our random variable having some numeric values, therefore we must calculate the mean and variance for x. As in previous examples, we have the values of x from 2 to 12. But to find the mean value, we will not add them and dividing by their number. because these values are associated with the probability. So we find the mean value on the basis of these probabilities. So we find the weighted mean. The mean of x will be, in this case, a weighted mean. We find this mean, this average, as a weighted mean of x, in which the weight is considered as the probability. Hence, this mean, also called expected value of a random variable x, denoted by E of x, is its weighted mean of all its possible values, each weighted by the respective probability. How we find this weighted mean? We multiply each value with this weightage, as this weightage is the corresponding probability in this case. So multiply each value with the corresponding probability and sum up. This is the mean of x, denoted by expected value of x, E of x. And also we have the variance through expectation. We multiply, we find the expectation of the square of x minus mu. How we find? We multiply each square with the corresponding probability and sum up, or otherwise we have an alternative formula. Now quickly reconsider the above examples, simple examples. When a coin is tossed 3 times, particularly, so multiply each value with the corresponding probability. 0 with 1 by 8, 1 with 3 by 8, 2 with 3 by 8, 3 by 1 by 8, and sum up. This will be the mean of x. Similarly, in this case, we construct another table. We multiply x with the corresponding probability using above table, using the probability distribution table. 2 multiply with 1 by 36, 3 multiply with 2 by 36, 4 multiply with 3 by 36, and so on. We get these products and sum up them. We get the expected value of x. 2, 6, 8, 8, 12, 20, 20, 20, 40, 40, and 30, 70, 70, and 42.
112.
112 and 40, 152.
50.
And okay, just mention the fraction here. Just mention the fraction here. This will be the answer. Now for the variance, first we find the expected value of x square. How we find this expected value of x square? We multiply the square of all these values with the corresponding probability. We multiply square of 2 with this probability, square of 3 with this probability, square of 4 with this probability, and so on. In this way, we sum up all the multiplications. This will give us the expected value of x square. Using both the expected values in this formula, we will get the answer. Just for a moment. $20, $40, $70, $70 plus 42 plus 40 plus 36 plus 30 plus 22 plus 12.
$252.
52. $112 plus 40 plus 36 plus 30 plus 22 plus 12. We get 252. So 252 divided by 36. This is the answer. Similarly, add all these multiplications and just mention it in the form of a fraction. So first, expected value of x square minus the square of the expected value of x. Just give the expression. This is a perfect answer, and that is enough. Now try to go through these solved problems. As we have different activities in which let's say we draw 2 balls. So similarly in this case, let me draw 2 balls from a bag containing 3 white and 5 black balls. A person receives $70 for each white ball and $7 for each black ball. As 2 balls are drawn, so we have 3 possible cases. Either we have both white, second case 1 white and 1 black, third case when we have both black. Now we find the chances to get both white. The probability is 3 by 8 multiply 2 by 7. The probability that first is white and second is also white. This is the probability. And the corresponding amount is $140 because he is getting $70 for a white ball. Second case, one white and one black, the corresponding amount is $77. The probability, the chances to get $77 depends upon the draw having one white and one black. So we find the probability. One white, it may be first one, but second black. But if first one is black, second will be white. In each possible case, we have one white and one black. So this is the probability. For both black, the corresponding amount is $14. The probability is when we have both black, first is black and second is also black, the probability is 5/8. For second black, favorable cases are reduced and also total possible cases are reduced. Also observe in this example that two balls are drawn without indicating the technique of draw. So obviously we will find the probability using the technique of without replacement or directly use the combination formula. Now multiply each amount with the corresponding probability, second amount with the corresponding probability, and third amount with the corresponding probability and sum up. This is our required expectation. This is the required mean value of X. On the average, we can get this amount. Also, we have a situation we can use this expectation because it has usual meaning. Expectation means how do we expect about our profit, about our loss, about anything. If we are waiting a taxi, how can we expect whether we are getting a taxi, Uber or Cream, let's say, within 5 minutes, or we have to wait for 10 minutes, or we have to wait for 15 minutes, or we are waiting for 20 minutes, or we are waiting for 25, or observe as 6 timings, 6 different timings. What are the chances that we can get a taxi within 5 minutes, and what are the chances that we will get within 10 minutes? So in this way we can find an average time to get a taxi during a certain time. During rush hour, we can also find the chances to have a taxi on an average base. Also, we can decide in a better way whether we should launch our business in a particular region or not. We should have a construction in a particular place or not. First, we have to make certain tests. Then we decide. when this Orange Line train was planned, they made certain tests whether it is feasible to erect these pillars in this area depending upon the stiffness of the soil. Then they decided to construct. Even then they faced many problems in this construction regarding the construction of the pillars. So let's say an umbrella salesman can earn $30 if it rains, and the chances of rain are 30%, or you can say 0.3 is the probability of the rain per day. This means the probability for not raining is 0.7. As the probability of the rain is lesser but earning is larger, and the probability of not raining is larger but the loss is minimum. So how can we decide whether we should launch this business, whether that person should try to sell umbrella in that region? So first he will calculate his expectation. Now, what happens on the average basis? He has two different amounts, $30 and $6. $6 is the loss. So we will denote this loss with a negative sign. Now multiply each value with the corresponding probability. 30 with 0.3 and minus 6 with 0.7. Sum up. In this way we will get the expectation on the average basis. $30 multiply with 0.3, 9 is the answer. 6 multiply with 0.7, we have 4.2. So we have 9 minus 4.2. So the amount is 9 minus 4.2. 4.2 is the answer. 4.8 is the answer. 4.8. But if a calculator is not allowed, so this will be your answer. Only this expression is a perfect answer. No need to simplify further. Give this answer. That is enough. So try these solve problem also, and also attempt the some unsolved problems. Next we will discuss some probability distributions by name. Among them we will discuss Bernoulli distribution, binomial probability distribution, Poisson, negative binomial, geometric, and hypergeometric. These are discrete probability distributions because their corresponding random variable is discrete. So first one is Bernoulli. What is the Bernoulli experiment? Bernoulli activity. An activity which is repeated one time. We toss a coin one time. we roll our dice one time, we pick a card one time, we select a person one time. But with the characteristic or with the property that every time we have two possible outcomes. Either we are getting ahead or not getting ahead. Either we have an even number or we don't have an even number. Either the selected item is defective or it is not defective. Either the person is a boy or the selected person is not a boy. So every time we have just a minute, please. Every time we have two possible outcomes, but these outcomes are complementary. We have or we not have. We have a head or we don't have a head. Either the selected item is defective or it is not defective. So if P is the probability, we call our consideration as a success. And the other option we call it as a failure. So if P is the probability of our success and Q is the probability of the failure, then always we have P plus Q is equal to 1. Such an experiment is called a Bernoulli experiment or a Bernoulli trial. Again, repeat the conditions for Bernoulli experiment. First one is that there is only one trial, one activity, and there are two possible outcomes. We call, if we call one outcome a success, the other will be a failure. If the probability of a success is P, with the probability P and Q respectively. But remember, these outcomes are independent. The happening of a head does not affect the happening of the tail. A defective item, if we have two possible outcomes as a defective item or we don't have a defective item, so both are independent. One is not affecting the other. Okay, and the sum of the probability of a success and failure is equal to 1. That is P plus Q is equal to 1. Now, if we repeat this Bernoulli experiment, it becomes binomial. Let we toss our coin 5 times and observing the number of heads. So what is the probability to get 2 heads? So first of all, we define our variable denoting number of heads, then the range of x, which is 0, because in this activity we may have 0 head, 1 head, 2 head, 3 head, 4 head, or maximum we can have 5 heads. So what is the probability to get 2 heads? As in 5 outcomes we have 2 heads, and the other 3 tails. Everywhere, as many possible cases we have, but everywhere we have 2 heads, 3 tails. This is the probability. For 2 head, p power 2. For 3 tails, q power 3. This is the probability. But as we have total 10 possible cases, therefore, by considering all the possibilities, the probability is 10 multiply with p power 2 and q power 3. How to remember this coefficient? We will not remember. We will calculate, because we need 2 heads in these 5 outcomes. So 5C2 are the possible cases. 2 out of 5. So in this way we will calculate this coefficient. So this is the probability. Similarly, check another. If we look at this probability, this expression, this is a general expression. This is a general term of a binomial expansion. So that's why this is called a binomial distribution. Let's say if 20% of the bolts produced by a machine are defective, the probability of a bolt to be defective is 0.2. Obviously, the probability for a bolt not to be defective is 0.8. So what is the activity? We are considering 4 bolts. We pick up, we choose, we select 4 bolts at random. What is the probability that one is part 1, that one bolt will be defective? So defective probability will be raised to power 1, and the rest of the all outcomes are the failure. So the probability of the failure will be raised to the power 3. This is the probability. How many cases are there? 4C1. We are observing here 1 out of 4. So these are the 4 possibilities in which we have 1 defective, another 3 non-defective, 1 defective, other 3 non-defective. But we calculate this coefficient through this combination, 4C1. 1 we need out of 4. So this is the probability. Similarly, check other examples also. Next one is Poisson distribution. This is the case same as just like binomial. This you can say this is again a binomial distribution, but with the condition if probability of a success is less than 0.05, we prefer Poisson. In this way, the formula for probability function will be changed. We use this formula for Poisson distribution. So we prefer Poisson distribution when P is small, but N is large. N is large. Let's say we draw 50 items. We select 100 people. We draw 100 items. We observe 100 places. We observe a temperature or atmospheric conditions 100 times during a for a long time. Such things you will do in your projects or research work. In civil engineering, the things are observed for a long time. You may have data for the last 50 years. You may have your observation for the last 10 years. So in this way, the probability of a success is reduced. So that's why we prefer Poisson distribution in such cases. And in advanced level, we use Poisson distribution for joint distribution for more than one variable. But we are discussing for single variable. We will discuss next time, inshallah. First, try to understand these things. During next lecture, we will finish. We will be able to finish this this chapter. Negative. Just go through these distributions. What is the difference between a binomial and Poisson? We have discussed. Now, what is the difference between a binomial and a negative binomial? What was the situation? Let me write here two statements. Observes these two statements. One is that okay, we state these two statements in a simple way. 10 coins are tossed, or you can say a coin is tossed 10 times. Let's say the same thing we have, the same sample space we have. A coin is tossed 10 times. What is the probability to get 4 heads in this case? Easily we can find out. The answer is 10C4 4 and Q par 6. This is the answer. This is the answer. Now observe the second statement. What is the probability to get 4 head from 10th toss? almost same things we have. How we find this probability? In second case, we continue to toss a coin one, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We are stopping at 10th toss because at 10th toss we are getting our last target. We stop here. So what is the probability? In this situation we have p power 4 and q power 6. Look at these outcomes. These outcomes containing 4 heads. They must contain 4 heads. Four head and 6 tails. 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6 tails. How should be the coefficient here in this case? This position is known. This position is fixed because we are stopping there. That's why this position is known. That's why, except this one, all others outcomes may shuffle. We shuffle all other outcomes. Maybe we have first one tail, second tail also, third tail also, then head, and then tail. We have different situations in these, but at the end we are getting our last success. As we get it, we stop there. So only these outcomes will be shuffled. They are 9 containing 3 heads. So 9C3 will be the coefficient. Hence, this situation is related to binomial, and this situation is related to negative binomial. Note that finally, in first statement, trials are fixed, but successes are the variable. Successes are the variables. successes varies. Successes vary. But in second statement, successes are fixed. The trials are the variable. They vary. Whereas the trials vary. This is the difference. This is the difference between binomial and negative binomial. Now, if
Sir, Sir, 9 combination 3 is the probability of occurrence of 3 heads in first 9 attempts. But in question we want the probability of 4th head in 10th attempt. तो ये 10 कॉम्बिनेशन 1 नहीं होना चाहिए सर?
यहाँ पर
yes in second statement.
ये पूछ रहे हैं आप?
yes sir.
नहीं, ये देखें, जब सबको शफल करेंगे, ये तमाम शफल होंगे, तो ये 10C4 होगा. जब आपने इसको फिक्स कर दिया तो शफलिंग सिर्फ इनकी होगी, 9 की. 9 में 3 हेड हैं, तो 9C3 will generate possible combinations. This is the main difference. This is the difference. And what is the logic behind? This is the logic. That in binomial, number of trials are fixed. We perform the activity in a fixed number of times, in which successes are the variables. We may have 0 success, we may have 1 success, 2 success, 3 success. But here, in this case, our target is fixed. We need this target. For example, insurance policy salesman is trying to sell a policy, a single policy in a day. So for this purpose, he visits a number of people. So what are the chances that for that single target, how many times he has to visit the people? Let's say we find the probability that he will have to visit 8 people to sell that single policy. So what will be the situation? First person say no, 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 and finally the 8th person saying yes. So this will be the situation. The target is fixed and activity is repeated to get the fixed number of targets. This is called negative binomial. If that person having 2 policies, so first person saying no, 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 Fourth person, yes, one policy is sold. Then next one saying no, 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 and finally, as the last policy is sold, he stopped there because he only have two policies. Nothing have to do next. So this will be the situation. So what are the chances of this situation? What is the probability for this situation that he will be successful at 8th visit? Second policy is sold, but he has failure 6 times. He is not successful 6 times. As this position is fixed, and because this is known, we are stopping there. We are getting here our last target. So this will not involve. Here we can never have n at this place. So how could this outcome involve in the combinations? Because there is no option to have n at this position. So this is fixed, and this is why this is a success. We don't know what happens with the previous. There may be first success, all other 6 are failure. We may have success here or here, but as we get our second success, we stop there. What are the chances that we are getting our second success at 8th visit? So this position is fixed. Rest of the outcomes will involve in making the combinations. They are 7, out of which 1 is success. So this is required probability. This is the only difference. Otherwise, the answer of
Yes, sir.
Answer of binomial and negative binomial are the same, except this coefficient. So if a student make this mistake, the question will be considered wrong, because he has no concept about the negative binomial. The answer is just in a single line. Single line answer is totally perfect answer. But if he is writing 10C4 as a coefficient, the answer is wrong, because he has no concept of negative binomial. So that's why I try to understand these differences. Inshallah, next time we will discuss in detail all the solved examples related to these probabilities. Relating to Python.
Okay, sir.
Python, negative binomial, and geometric, and also hypergeometric.
Okay, sir.
Okay, 35 are present today. I'm downloading their attendance. Okay, ji, Allah Hafiz. Inshallah, next time we will discuss.
Yes, sir.